So I had to come check on the sunflower field. I've got pictures to take here next weekend, and the other field that I had set up, storms got last night. So it looks like these are doing pretty good. A little bit of sunshine and they'll perk up. But I want to talk about thumbnails, splash screens, and what you do for your advertising. They're very important. You know, a lot of people do different, they have their own style of thumbnails, they have their own things that they do, their own color schemes, their own branding, different things. So what is the purpose of a good thumbnail? Why do we use thumbnail? How important is the thumbnail to your business or to your video feeds or to what you're trying to do, your point you're trying to get across? There's a lady I know that does perfect thumbnails, splash screens for her Facebook business. She's a hairdresser, and she also they have a salon, her and her mom, and she sells makeup. And with all the people that do different things in the world, you know, seems like there's an oversaturation of everybody that does what you're trying to do. I try to do photography. There's 1,000 photographers. She's selling makeup. There's 1,000 people selling makeup. Everything. So it's competitive. So how do you get the upper edge on somebody? How do you grab clients? How do you get their attention? How do you make someone get what you're selling, the point you're trying to get across? And it's with the use of thumbnails. How do I get them to click on my video? How do I get them to click and subscribe? How do I get them in? It's all about pulling the client in, or the potential customer, or a viewer. Okay, so these are some of the advertisements and the thumbnail stuff that she posts. And they're really good. The color content's good. Her point is good. Her presentation is superb. She's a frequent poster. I mean, she stays on top of these things. And it's all about those little things put together that start with your thumbnail. So we're going to go talk to her and get her point of view on why she does what she does and how important they are to her. So let's take a trip. Alright guys, so we're here. We made it to Heatwave Salon where Jennifer works, and we're going to talk to Jennifer a little bit and see her thought process, how she comes up with this, and see just what she thinks about the importance of the thumbnail and what it does for her business. So let's go check it out. Alright, so we're here at Heatwave Salon with Jennifer. Hello. This is Jennifer. How you doing?
Good.
Alright, so we're going to talk about the thumbnail and, you know, thumbnail, splash screen. It was kind of funny how we had a little conversation about, you weren't sure what I was talking about. The importance of the thumbnail. Everybody talks about, how can I get people's attention? How can I get somebody to see what I want them to see? How can I get them to click on what I'm talking about?
Right.
So what we're going to do is talk to you. You have, to me, the best thumbnails and splash screens anybody made. We really enjoy them. And, you know, 90% of people don't read the description. 90% of people see a picture and say, hey, I'm interested in that. I want to see what that's about.
Right.
So how do you get people to click on something that you feel is important that you need to talk about with your business or whatever you're doing? So we're going to talk to you about that a little bit. You're going to show us your thought process and just talk about it.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, so I'll show some pictures, some examples of some of the stuff you've done, some of the ads you've done. We really like your colors, your picture selection, your ability to grab the audience with what you're trying to sell.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your thought process, where you start. You've got an idea in your head of what you've got a sale coming up or what you want to do. How does that work for you?
Pretty much when I start, I pick a product. Normally, it's not even a broad color, like I say it was enduring lip colors, lipsticks. Instead of focusing on, we have 17 different colors, I pick one color. and go from there. So my whole entire makeup, my outfit, and everything would revolve around that one color and how it incorporated into that look for that day. So, and that's what I pick. I also try to choose things that are, one, well in stock, and two, things that I know are going to sell easily to a broad range of people. Not a lot of people are scared of cherry pie because it's red. Not a lot of people want to wear red lipstick. So if you pick a color that's neutral, it's gonna sell. But then when you throw in, when those people buy that product off of you, and they're comfortable in that color, then they're gonna be more apt to be like, you know what, I think I want to try that cherry pie lip. So when you throw that picture on there in that color scheme, then it gets them interested in it. For me, it's about drawing the attention in, of course. Less words and more picture. Like you say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. They want to see what you're doing. They don't want to see graphics that are used every single day. They want to see you doing it, and they want to see you using it. So I always try to incorporate myself or a client or customer or someone I personally know using the product.
Right. So we've talked here just a few minutes, and you've said a mouthful of things that you're trying to describe in one picture.
Right.
So with that being said, you've got to try to sell this product. You've got to try to get everybody's attention, but you have to do it with one shot.
Yes.
So that's how important the picture is. To me, I'm the same thing. I want to show in the one picture in my one ad and explain everything I'm trying to do with one picture.
Yes.
And it's tough sometimes.
Yes.
It's tough. So let's go on a little bit more about your process.
Okay, so it starts usually it's trial and error a lot of times. So there's many advertisements that I've made that I've never used because it didn't have that right look that I was going for. So sometimes it takes me 25 pictures or 25 advertisements to get that one great shot, the one shot that's going to use. And also I'll have 30 throwaways, but that one picture that we need. And honestly, sometimes it's not even the product maybe I was going for. I just wanted to incorporate what I used and why I used it so that they can recreate the look. And it just so happened that one product was the one I grabbed, which was, the lipsticks. We went for that one that time. But, next time it could be the blush. I could use that same graphic, go back in, throw a blush in there. It just depends on what you're doing. But honestly, after every tutorial I do, after every live, my everyday look, I always take a ton of pictures to be able to show one, maybe just one graphic of it.
And a lot of people don't realize the importance of this to their business is huge.
Yes.
For advertising, especially if we're advertising on social media, we're advertising on YouTube, different things, you don't get a 30-second spot. You don't get the pro camera setups that everybody's doing, the lighting. So we're trying to nail this in one shot. We're trying to get our point across with as little words as possible in a small format that we're using. So advertising has changed. The social media platform is huge for people trying to get their business across. A lot of people do it. I do it with photography. I do it with wedding videos. You're doing it with the hair salon. You're doing it with the makeup, and it's huge. So to you, your clients, when you're trying to promote to your clients, a lot of people are waiting and just getting a snapshot here and a snapshot there of things. But to you, this is your business. This is your life. So without this, where do you think you would be if you didn't put this kind of time and effort into it?
In a sea of people who are doing what I do every day, they're selling products every single day. You just have to set yourself a goal and put it in mind. I keep a calendar and a planner, and I make it a point to have at least 8 posts lined up. And 8 pictures lined up that I could throw out at any time, videos made up that have been posted in months that are ready to go.
Right, so you hit a good point. So having a backup, you can't post every day. There's no way.
Right.
And then having a library that you can go back to and say, okay, I'm going to try to do this. That was a good look for that. I'm going to try to throw this look on here today.
Yeah.
But it's also giving them something fresh that nobody hasn't seen.
Yes,
A lot of times we notice that YouTubers and Facebook alike, they're using the same pictures, same words, same everything. So when you go through and look at their videos or their posts, it looks the same. Everything's the same. you can't tell who's grabbing what they're trying to sell.
Exactly.
So with yours, I know exactly what you're selling. I know exactly what the point you're trying to get across.
Yes.
So now let's talk a little bit about what do you use, what is your planning and preparation for actually putting these together? What kind of apps do you use? What is your preferred method? Where do we go with that?
There's several, and it just depends really on what you're trying to accomplish.
And there are hundreds
yes.
of apps and programs you can use to make these apps. What do you like the best? What do you use?
So far we use Viva Video sometimes. The Majesto, of course, is a new one I just found. That's more for your video. Short videos are perfect, especially in our market. It's a commercial. It's an advertisement for yourself. Short videos are taking over.
And let me elaborate on that, because the average lifespan of a video, somebody's attention span while watching your video is less than 5 minutes.
Yes.
So you've got to get your point across, try to sell this product, or try to get somebody to get their attention in less than 5 minutes, because they'll change the channel. They will go to another video if you're boring them, if you're not getting your point across quick enough, or if you're not interested. I know you use a lot of humor in yours. I love it. There's not enough of that. People say,
yes.
But you got to grab their attention. You got to try to hold it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but it is a long time to try to shoot a video.
Yeah, and then that's the same thing with a live. With a short video and a live, because a live is a lot longer normally. But you have 20 seconds from when they click on your video and jump in to get them engaged, get them active, have a conversation with them, make sure you're introducing and saying hello. You have to be engaging. You have 20 seconds from the time they click on it before they move on to the next
People
one.
want to feel involved.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, you want to be very, have them very involved into it. And it's the same with short videos. You want them, and even with your advertisements and thumbnails, ask a question. Ask a question in your advertisement, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to get somebody on it who has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion.
Absolutely.
So that is, for me, is one of my biggest ones, is like the collage picture. I put together a group of looks, looks that I have done over the last several months, and said pick your favorite, and everybody had a favorite, and a lot of them were different, which is great. And it's just kind of gets people involved. That's what they want to be. They want to feel like they're involved in the process.
Absolutely. Too. So with this one picture, we're going back to the thumbnail and splash screen. You're getting clicks, you're grabbing attention, you're throwing them into your video or your sales pitch, what you're trying to do, and then you're getting them engaged. So you're having them give feedback, and then you're also responding to the feedback. That's what the people want, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. They want to feel like they're part of your video. They're part of your product. They're part of what you're trying to do, and that's great. That's what we like to see.
Yes.
It works for me. It works for you. Obviously, you're doing very well. So now let's talk about. We talked about colors. We talked about the pictures and different things. How important is this picture that you're going to do for your sale? How high up do you hold that on priority? How important is that to you that you get that?
Posting things of value is very important. We actually did a training on this not too long ago about how would you pay for the advertisement that you're putting on there. If you're throwing up a graphic and not great quality advertisement, would you pay good money for that advertisement to be there? And that's the thing, you have to put that in the back of your mind. Would I pay big money for this advertisement? Because your thought process is going to be a lot more. You're going to really, really think about it.
Correct.
You're not going to just keep posting the same stuff over and over again. You're not going to keep posting
because you lose attention.
Exactly.
You lose people's attention.
You're losing your integrity once you start doing that. Once you start noticing, and there's some posts that I get that don't get the great likes, and they don't get the great shares and the great comments on it, and that's okay. But then I'm going to make sure I revamp that next post.
Exactly.
And it's all trial and error.
Right. You just brought up a good point. We hang up too much on numbers.
Yes.
How many likes did it get? How many people were involved? How many, we hang up on that when we don't learn from that.
Right. And there's another point too, is that it normally, in a purchasing situation, it takes 20 advertisements to get one purchase.
Absolutely.
So, it's going to take the person seeing your advertisement multiple times, different advertisements, and scrolling through it before it really gets, like they say, after 5, it's in the back of their mind. You know, after 10, they're like, let me click on this. Let me read a little bit more about it. After 15, they're really interested. They started messaging you and asking you questions.
Right.
And then after about the 20th advertisement that you have posted, then they're like, okay, wait a second, let me message her and get her link and get this order. So, you know, it's definitely consistency. That's a big key to
Absolutely.
it. You can't post once a week and expect to make great deals. You know, you have to post consecutively and things of value. That's
People want to think you're serious about your product.
Yes, exactly.
So, from everything we're trying to evolve to, we start with the picture.
Yes.
We start with the ad. We start with a thumbnail. That's your clickbait. You know, everybody talks really bad about clickbait, but in essence, that's what you're trying to do.
Right,
You
right.
want people to click. You want people to come see what you've got going on.
Subconsciously, we all do it.
Absolutely,
We all, when we are scrolling, clickbait is something that everybody is interested in. When you instantly just click on it, not even thinking about it.
That's right.
And most of us spend mindless hours scrolling
Absolutely.
anyway. So for that's just our way as a business to get you to click, to stop mindlessly scrolling and
That's
click.
right.
And that's
Absolutely.
exactly, I mean, it works. It does.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, Jennifer.
Awesome.
You're doing great things. I like to talk to people that's got a good mindset, that put the effort in. You get out of what you put into
Exactly.
it. So we appreciate you. Good
Awesome.
job. See you
Great.
next time.